Today's video, we have the Jordan 1 Satin Bred. There has been a lot of comments surrounding these sneakers, a lot of mixed comments, so I thought, you know, it's only right to get them in hand for myself and to give you guys my own opinion on these. So this pair actually released back in 2016. They came in a pop-up shop in New York City. However, they only released 501 pairs, which is super limited. And you know what happens when they only release a few, they become very exclusive. So they are now sitting on resale. I saw on StockX for £3,000. That is mental, but you know there will be some people out there willing to pay that amount of money for them. It's funny because if you did want a pair in 2016, then all your wishes have come true because they have now released the Jordan 1 Satin Bred in a 2023 version. However, I do have to say that these only come in women's sizing, which will probably be very disappointing to a lot of people. So they only go up to size UK 9.5. So if you do have larger feet than that, then unfortunately you will not be able to get your hands on these. I'm not sure of the reasoning why these only came out as a women's exclusive. So the Satin Breds, this pair and the 2016 pair are an iteration of the 1985 OGs. Now, if you thought the price 3,000 was mental, wait till you have a look at the price of this, £25,000. Again, there will be, I mean, celebrities, millionaires, people that, you know, have the money for that. Anyway, that is the OG version, and over the years they have released different iterations of that. So of course today we have the satin version, so they've replaced the leather with the satin, which definitely gives a more kind of luxurious vibe. They did also release in 2021, which is one of my favorites. Instantly when I saw this, it just took me back to that 2021, the Patent Bred. That went down a tree, sold out as well. A lot of people were feeling that. Usually I find with Patent, it's a bit, you know, people either love it or hate it. But that version was a hit. I think in general, the Bred colorway is hugely popular, and whatever kind of iteration material that comes out, it usually goes down very well. These came in $180 and £175. I'm getting a little bit tired of myself. I'm always talking about the prices because I'm just always in shock of how expensive everything is getting. Obviously everything else in the world, but sneakers is one of those things, you know, the price is not going down. There's only one way and it's up. Disregarding that, let's take a closer look into these Jordan 1 Satin Breds. So as mentioned before, on the upper where we would have seen the leather panels, this is now being replaced with this satin material, and I can't lie to you, it looks absolutely stunning, and especially with this colorway as well. There are some really nice subtle details on this Jordan that do add to that luxurious feel. If we take, for example, the swoosh, as you can see, we do have this embroidered around the swoosh, red embroidery, which kind of makes the swoosh stand out a little bit more. It gives it a bit of a more 3D dimension. Carrying on with embroidery, we do have an embroidered wings logo at the top. Now, one of my favorite parts of this Jordan has got to be the laces. The laces is where it's all happening. So firstly, you get a black pair of laces that come half laced already onto the sneaker. You also get a red pair of laces as well. I think both colors are absolutely perfect for this shoe. I think if you want something a little bit more subtle blended in, obviously go for the black. But if you want something, you know, that has a bit more of a pop, a contrast, then definitely go for the red. I think for me, I would definitely use both. I'd maybe have black for a bit and then, you know, change it up maybe in a week or two with the red laces. I do feel like, I always say this, when you add a new color of laces onto a sneaker, you do almost get a different sneaker. It just gives a whole different vibe, and I feel like the red is literally, it's gonna be popping, I already know, but if you want something a little bit more subtle, a little bit more sleek, then go for the black. But these laces, as you can see, we have some metal eyelets, which is a game changer, and I wish every single pair of shoe has a pair of metal eyelets. They are so much easier to lace up. I really struggle when the laces don't have metal eyelets and you kind of have to poke it through that hole. Absolutely hate lacing my sneakers when it has those. Also, in addition to this, you will notice at the end, they also have like a metal cover with a little Jordan logo as well. Usually you have that kind of horrible plasticky material, which also makes it really difficult to, you know, poke in the hole. This was an absolute dream to lace. It was so much easier and so much quicker. The red pair is exactly the same as well. You just have the red laces, obviously, but you do still have the silver metal at the end. If we then move on to the tongue, we just have a black standard tongue with the Nike Air Jordan logo in red. Taking a look inside this shoe is also a dream. You do have the black satin for sock liner, and then you will notice we have the red insole with the Nike Air logo. Moving to the bottom of the shoe, we do have a clean white midsole, which is beautiful, beautiful colors contrasted with black and red. And then as for the sole of the shoe, we do have this red. Now the actual colorway of this shoe is a Jordan 1 University Red colorway, so it is a little bit different to that kind of more varsity red. I'd say it is definitely more kind of popping, definitely a more kind of brighter red. Sizing wise for these, they just fit like any other Jordan 1, so I went for my normal true to size, which is a size 7, and they fit absolutely perfectly. Also, in terms of comfortability, even though they do have that luxurious satin sock liner, I don't really notice much difference to a regular Jordan 1, so I would say they fit pretty much like any other Jordan 1. Now, in my opinion, I think this is such a super clean sneaker, especially when you are looking at it. The only problem that I have, and this might be kind of more of a personal problem than the actual sneaker, is on the material of satin in general. It's not one of the greatest material in terms of that. It's very, very thin. It's very hard to clean. It's not durable at all. Aesthetically, it does look amazing, but I just think about in terms of wearing it and, you know, for the longevity of the sneaker, I definitely think once you get maybe a tear in it, it's not going to give, you know, that luxurious feel that we're seeing right now. I don't know if a normal shoe cleaner would be able to do a good enough job on these. And satin is one of those things that if you get it dirty and you rub it, you are literally making it 10 times worse. And because it is a thin material, you have to be careful about how much, you know, how much pressure you're putting on rubbing it without it tearing. Obviously, I've only just picked these up. I have seen some comments surrounding creasing, issues with how they look when they crease, and that kind of does make sense because of obviously this thin satin material. Whereas when, you know, when you have a leather, when you've got creasing, it kind of adds to the character of the shoe. I'm not so sure that you're gonna get that with this kind of satin material. I think I am on the fence with these because of that reason, because of the material. These are one of those shoes that I probably just like to, you know, sit up on a wall and just stare at because they look so beautiful. I do have serious regrets about not picking up the patent version, because if I had to compare this to the patent version, I think I would actually go for the patent version. Not just because of the things I've mentioned about the material, but I do also like that shine. You get that extra shininess with the patent. And then the patent version has definitely got more durability than these. These are actually still sitting. The sneakers app has the whole size range, and I've also seen some other retailers as well, again with the whole size range. I don't know why. I think there's various reasons perhaps contributing to the reason why these are still sitting. I do think one of these is the fact that they are only women's exclusive. I do think, you know, that wipes out quite a lot of audience in terms of sneakers. They're very, very limited to sizing. I do also think that perhaps maybe, you know, people don't have the same disposable amount of money that they did, you know, a couple years ago. As I said, these are $180, £175. These are not cheap sneakers. So maybe people, you know, are being a little bit more selective on what sneakers they buy. They're waiting for another sneaker or another colorway. Boxing wise for this sneaker, we do get a beautiful red and black box. The official colorway for this sneaker is Jordan 1 Retro High OG, Black University and red. Now, one of the amazing things we all know I love in an unboxing is when you get additional items. So in this box, we get this cute black Jordan tote bag. I absolutely love tote bags as well. I use them, sometimes I use them just as a normal bag. It is very, very small. I'm not sure what the idea is around this. I'm not sure if it's for you, let's try it out, for you to put your sneakers in, but I mean, it's tiny. Okay, so you can kind of fit them in there, but obviously, as you can see, they're filled to the brim. I mean, that is cute. I do think that is really cute. I guess instead of shoe bags, you get a tote bag. So if you did want to take them away, I guess you could put them in your suitcase like that and they would still be protected. Either way, it's free, it's included in the box, so we love that. Overall, I do think that this is an absolutely beautiful sneaker. Please do let me know in the comments below what you guys are saying about today's pickup. Also about this satin material, what are you guys saying? Am I just being too fussy or too practical? I'm thinking about it too practical.